like my faction access. What do you want now?
Purple berry crunch, except no imitation. The K lets you know it's
All these
authentic.
rifts got everyone riled up, including me. What are we supposed to do if we encounter one?
Oh, you shoot it. Take that abomination out.
Wait, really?
No, you slackwit.
Yes, that Milver Street fellow is remarkably kind. Lord,
You ever find yourself too much disposable income? I got plenty of ideas.
Why choose just any choice when you could choose?
Yeah.
T knows best.
Ah, Inez. Have you come back for a tune-up?
No, I actually brought a few other grafting parts with me, if you...
Oh, these are pristine indeed. Is this of an ursopod?
Yeah.
Since Doc's given her blessing, which do you reckon I go with? The ursopod's mucus gland could absorb some incoming damage, if you don't mind getting a little sticky. The mantis swarm hive, however, would be best for crowd control. Say the word, and I'll sick these little guys on any enemy in our vicinity. I'm intrigued by either option, really.
Hive it is. Just refrain from any buzzing jokes.
Oh, the mantis swarm is a one. There. I dare say you won't be needing any tune-up. By the by... What is it, dear? You look, well, a bit like you've been stung by a terror ray. I've got ointment for that too, you know.
There's a grafting lab way out on Cloister that was still operational. Till recently. I found it, Doc. And...
Still operating? Inez, do you feel all right?
I know what I saw. They were brutalizing folk and creatures. Paying them no... The doctor there, he killed...
Inez, I swear I didn't. That sounds... Oh, Sovereign's mercy, that sounds precisely like what I would
The creatures they were experimenting on broke out of their cages. Killed most of the staff. But you know what's worse? I found the doctor in charge. Still alive. We spoke briefly.
But this ain't the extent of it, I fear.
Oh, Inez, I know you do. But with the program officially shuttered, yes, that does shed light on a correspondence I received recently. A vice president sent... I found the secrecy odd at the time, but I do suppose it lines up with your discovery.
Ain't surprising.
His name is Willard Conan, VP of Experimental Operations. The very man he's... Oh, I know that look.
I just mean to have a little chat. I will be asking Willard to reform the grafting program. You heard from Dr. Rasmussen, right? If there's good to be had from the program...
You honor me. I did receive a message from a Rasmussen, yes. He is on his way with research to hand over to me. But... it would bring purpose back into my work. All of Fairfield, I will help you. Vice President Conan's office is aboard the undisputed claim, the flag, but it's my understanding that you will need to present this calling card to gain entry. Inez, what you are doing is noble.
Thank you, Doc. Now, you get those grafting tools ready.
We got the intel we need, Commander. If we find this Willard and convince him to use this grafting research for folks' betterment, well then...
Silent as a tomb. Hope we aren't too late. If Virgil's not about, he's like to be in the training grounds, Dennis. There's a lift that will take us lower, located behind the door next to us.
Tristan! See a friendly face. Do come up.
Virgil! Oh, thank the architect I found you intact. We visited the Supreme Arbiter's office in Central Control and found something... impossible.
Impossible? Why is it impossible? So that you may claim ignorance as to the truth of what you've uncovered? Fine. If you're still so thick-skulled, Tristan, then I can see I've no choice but to confess. Hold. Do you hear movement?
Attention, Arbiter Virgil Montag. Under the jurisdiction of the Council, we stand to bring you low. Do not resist.
Damnation! I knew the Sentinels were looking for me, but I did not expect they would come to this place. We have no choice but to fight. I can operate our turrets from this location, but you must engage the Sentinels...
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms. Surrender and die. Plan, preserve that progress. Sustain the system, serve the self. Force, but no doubt the bulk of their number remains on the surface. I shall take an alternate path to prepare a surprise for our would-be assailants. Then I shall flank them as you engage them.
Hold! You were beginning to say something before we were...
We cannot have this
Grim!
Let's get you healed.
You're hurt, Commander! Steel yourself! Virgil, enough! Our being at odds with the Consul is one thing, but that was a small army! What have you done?
You already know whether you're willing to admit it or not. If you sincerely have a need, very well then. Tristan, you stand before the murderer of the Supreme Arbiter.
I don't believe this. The Consul must have...
Open your eyes, Rao. Those Sentinels were here with due cause. The Supreme Arbiter was planning to send a message in her final moments, pledging allegiance to the Consul. Who do you think bore witness to those final moments? I did what I thought was just.
No. You lied to me?
I had to. I knew that if you
Would it? Or were you just trying to save yourself from my wrath? We've no proof anyone was a traitor. And even if we had, it...
Protectorate High Command, puppeted by the Consul, you mean?
The truth would have come out, one way or another.
Well, don't be a fool. The Vigilance could not even be bothered to stand against him as he wrested more and more power for himself. No. I had to take matters into my own hands.
You're right. You're right. I can't let emotion get the better of me. This is not the first time we've encountered the paradoxical nature of Protectorate law. Each time we did, you convinced me to stay my hand. And I do not... Our prior conclusions inform my present feelings. But I cannot view this objectively. Virgil killed our mentor. It's madness. I cannot simply let... My hesitation is more reflective of a weakness of character. One does not hesitate in the Protectorate. One acts. What's right is right. Each encounter we have experienced together has left me torn. The law is clear on this. But is addressing traitorism not the utmost priority of any arbiter? Is not the betrayal of everything we stand for more significant than a breach of protocol? No. And even if there was, maybe this was right. We must think for ourselves. I cannot bring myself to execute my sworn brother. I never expected to have my loyalties tested such as this. But at the I know not what to make of the Supreme Arbiter's betrayal. I'll have to ruminate on it.
Good on you, Rao. Ain't healthy to let the hammer solve.
I don't know what to say. I just wish there had been some other option. Oh, I have some measure of spine left, believe me. I can at least promise 1,000 words of thanks for meeting me here, Tristan. I know not what the... Though, before I go, a parting gift.
Go with the Sovereign's blessing, brother. And be careful. If you... Commander, this has all been... draining.
Commander, I've been thinking. Can I bend your ear a moment? Been doing some thinking about what happened in the lab. I went there to kill that. I know you never liked dealing with Auntie's Choice. Seems you're right not to. Auntie's Choice can't be trusted on their own with this research, that's clear. But if someone like me were to... If they could actually help folk like they claimed they would when they liberated Tau Ceti, it'd make life better for anyone. Ain't just saying that, are you? Ortiz sent me a message because he knew I would take action, that I'd remedy the betrayal both of us faced. If he were here now, he'd understand. Thanks, Commander. Maybe this is what folk mean by the architects setting things in motion. If I hadn't broken my contract, I wouldn't be here. Maybe this is what I...
Officially in...
Trinicular, arriving any moment now. Approaching station.
Commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy, while the Protectorate decides...
Don't wait for a line to form in front of you. Availability is severely limited. Let this be the first courageous leap you make into
It's high time one of you scientist types responded to my calling cards. The position's been open for more than 2 days, and already productivity is tanked by 149.4%. You want the role, it's yours, but I'm not budging on those hourly rates.
Let me guess. You're backfilling Rasmussen's position? Or all the scientists who work...
Both, obviously. Unless you mean to tell me a graft like yours can install itself. Now, do you want the job or not? We're burning starlight. Decent. I'll have you know that profits were forecast to be in the billions in my assessment last quarter.
That's not what we're talking about. Look, we found your lab on Cloister. A friend of mine who succumbed to his graft sent me there to put an end to your work. But after speaking with your doc, I came to see that the program's got much potential. Rasmussen's now with Doc Tinsley in Fairfield, and they're ready to restart this work if we can get your agreement. No more killing, much more progress.
I see someone failed out of the anti-Cleo School of Persuasion. Why would I ever pursue something so dull as reform? How does it serve me?
Troopers are getting maimed in battle, and many civvies are getting sick from lack of food. clean water. Some creatures can regrow limbs and safely consume tainted goods. If we give folk those same abilities, they won't have anything to fear. They can...
Ah, I see now. With grafts, but there is one small fly in the soup. Who exactly are you to dictate to me what we should be doing? I did not even know your name before you stepped through this door.
When I joined up in Tau Ceti, I was promised that if I proved myself, demonstrated exceptionalism, the moment would come where I could make a pitch for my own future. I ensured the safety of the delegates at the peace talks. I helped hunt down the fiend who destroyed our base on Golden Ridge. So yeah, I'd say the moment I'm owed has arrived.
Fine. Perhaps there is an opportunity here to expand our user base. But I will require proof that this little reformation of yours is a viable investment.
You say that as though you have...
I do. The commander of our fortified position on Praetor has been chomping at the bit for a show of force. He will have all the minute details, of course, but assisting him and demonstrating your prowess, I could tell you possessed a modicum of business sense. Head to Praetor. I'll send a reporter with
Hold on. You didn't...
Heroism is nothing without exciting footage and a talking head to sell it to the masses. So do make sure you put on a good show. Off you go, then. I haven't heard any news regarding the...
You cannot be here. My contract stipulates that this lab door remains locked. Ha! That's funny, considering the heaps of times I've been called such. Is that so strange? The program I was hired for is highly confidential. I don't see why, though I presume he also possesses an aversion to the smell of formaldehyde.
Well, that ain't right. Neither his managerial manner nor your working conditions. But once we get this program
Oh, no! No, I don't want change! I love my work. I love this place.
So am I.
Why this art's beauty is lost. Anyhow, I've much work to do.
I haven't heard it.
Commander. Despite the manner of what Virgil has done, I cannot help but be glad I did not need to... I still have much doubt about my path, but I don't... Having good intentions does not spare you. Yet what can I do? More than 100 years of Protectorate society cannot be changed by a lone body. But how? I see. I shall remain with the Protectorate, interpreting its laws through a moral instead of a punitive lens. Innocent until proven guilty is a novel concept, but it is worth a try. Words are not worth the air propelling them. Let me make good on them first. When we began traveling together, I was not sure what to make of you. I deeply appreciate your hand in this investigation, Commander. And in...
Subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign.
Look out, Commander! Don't make me...
Hastening to cover!
Craft's still recharging! Craft tingling. Happy to help. Discreetly. To the rescue. Out of sight and on the way.
Dagmar didn't betray us to the Sentinels. She is a Sentinel, with a fucking office here in Central Control. It's enough to make one take leave of their sanity.
I reckon that ship's already sailed off into another fucking dimension.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that. Fortunately, there's an easy solution to Dagmar's betrayal. One which involves removing her head from her body. Or maybe we should start with the disemboweling? So many choices.
I suppose congratulations are in order for having dispatched so many Sentinels. Can't rightly say I'm surprised, what with your knack for wanton violence. But still, impressive. And let's not forget that I was the one who gave Azahelia Leitinger a purpose and fulfillment. Look at how much fun...
The commander's right, though I do love hearing you grovel. Almost as much as I'm going...
Let's not be hasty. I mean, can it even be a betrayal if it was always lies? But I must say, when I started the Dawn at the Consul's behest, I knew you were the perfect candidate.
What are you talking about? There were cultists before me!
No, there were not. The fiction of a cult was born out of the need to convince the Sovereign to return to the true spirit of the Protectorate. The Consul feared he was too weak. I see that Aza isn't the only willfully society needs to be controlled for the greater good, by any means necessary.
Anyone with a lick of sense would prefer our way. The only folk who jump at the chance to shackle others are the ones who are free from that same control. Ain't that right?
Dagmar, all this can't be right.
As much as I'd prefer to not anger you, I must say your willful ignorance is still... I can only hope your luck has run its course and the remaining Sentinels are able to put you down.
No, that's too quick. What about... No, not painful enough. Yes, that's it. I just need to find a piece of heat-conducting metal and something to peel the skin effectively. I've no idea what you're speaking of. The Glorious Dawn is the future of Arcadia. Dagmar must die violently. I know of no other way to act.
Trouble ahead.
Imbeciles! How did you let Aza get this far? Stop her! She means to assassinate me!
Be cornered. She's sure to have an escape route. We should find it.
Now, let's not be too hasty here. You seem a rational person. There must be something we can do to resolve this peacefully. Please don't let Aza get her hands on me.
Why are you talking to them, Dagmar? I'm the one you must answer to. Well, I'm waiting to hear your ineffectual arguments as to why you should be spared. And then I'll kill you. You can start by telling me why. Why'd you do it, and why me?
Why? I'm a loyal subject to the True Protectorate. What other reason is there? When the Consul tasked me to help save the colony, I did not even think to ask why. And you were an obvious choice. So lost, so dead. You brought me great praise from the Consul. Until you started asking questions and killing the wrong people. The Consul feared that the Sovereign wasn't up to the task he inherited. He actually believed the subjects no longer needed such a firm guiding hand. So the Consul set to creating a challenge for the Sovereign to rise to make manifest the hidden dangers he refused to see. It began with labeling political subversives members of a fictitious cult. When that didn't work, the Consul enlisted me to make the glorious dawn a reality.
Enough of this blathering on. It's well past. As I told you before, there's only death for those who would betray the cult. She's dead. As am I. Our enthusiasm got the better of us. She should have suffered more. Now that Dagmar is dead, I'll be leading the Dawn into the glorious future. True. There may be those that do not accept my leadership, but they will die. The Dawn is too important to disband. What little risk any of them may pose doesn't concern me. I can send out a general message from here, informing the cells that the previous Exalted Leader has betrayed us and has been dealt with. I suspect some will simply jump into the closest rift. And to be perfectly candid, enough to keep my knife skills up at least. It's done. Let's leave this place. It sickens me.
I'm not ready to talk yet. Let's get out of here.
That reporter's gotta be nearby. Ain't keen to jump to conclusions, but I think I got a notion of what we're doing here.
I'm Orland Crawford, the outsourced but never outmatched wartime correspondent for the ACS Undisputed.
The name's Inez, and yes, Willard Conan sent me to help you with some sort of... I don't know what, exactly.
Now, let's not skip on introductions. Who is this you have with you? Oh, I see.
Huh, I appreciate the commander for saying so. I've been traveling with them for some time, following my dismissal from the forces.
Vice President Conan said he was sending his best. So let's get on with it. Your mission is to infiltrate. Their defenses are too great to face head-on. So you'll want to sneak in through the back entrance.
My camera drones will be filming the action from above, so do put on a good show. Blow up a few things, and use Inez's...
They've detained several of our scouts. I'd like to see them returned. If you deliver this weapon...
This is quite the opportunity. Normally, a POW might be written off as shrink...
So what, if I hadn't come along...
Our motto is to leave no man behind, unless it breaches our contract and promises financial penalties, which this does. Now, take these codes for the back door and go.
Once you infiltrate the blockade, neutralize our foes, and open the gates, our remaining troops will... Well, seeing as a tunnel has been punched through by that drill of ours, you should be...
Or you could go through the Automech production facility north of here. But that's where the scout who brought us the codes lost...
Though I trust you may fare better... Ooh, and spare some time for me after you emerge victorious.
Here we are, about to kick the proverbial mantisaur nest. Hope you're ready for your close-up. Damn. Of course they got a bunker mech. We need to... We need to take it by surprise, without alerting the other troopers, mind.
All it took was some light instruction and a sort of cocktail to abrade my imperfections.
Unfriendly company. They're mine.
Dictates the whole of the Protectorate is stronger than its parts.
Disruptive in...
Back in business. To the rescue. Sight unseen. Let's get you healed. Someone call for a medic.
Enemy in evacuation range.
You're looking pretty scathed, Commander.
Adversary reacquired.
Prescription filled.
Perfect.
An explosive! Replenishing my firearm. Protectorate is...
No hiding from your neighbors.
Back in business.
Helplessly, without complaint or
Taking cover. I may...
Practicing some battlefield medicine.
Who needs to die? Violence is the answer.
Grass ready if you need a house. Happy to help. Discreetly. Someone call for a medic. To the rescue. Sight unseen. Another ass-kicking for the history books. Let's open the gate for that reporter and the troops before these bodies get cold.
Over here! Let us out!
Many thanks for freeing us.
Just want to say I'm a big fan. Thank you for your customer service
Think
contractor.
I can maneuver my trauma into a manager position after this?
quarters, guys.
I'm Orland.
The name?
Now, let's not skip on introductions.
Oh, I appreciate...
Vice President, their defense.
My camera drones will be filming the... This...
So what?
Once you infiltrate the blockade, well...
Or...
Though... Ooh...
Here we are, about to kick the proverbial Mantisaur nest. Hope you're ready for your... Damn. Of course they got a bunker mech. We need to tear it by surprise, without alerting the other troopers, mind.
Prudence dictates the whole of the Protectorate is strongly outside. The paradigm we serve supplies all we deserve. Prudence dictates it is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. Over here! Let us out!
still got 43 months of boot camp loans to pay off. Fake law. I thought we'd be trapped in here forever.
Hey, tell me you've got a plan to deal with these guys.
Thank you for your customer...
On your feet, soldiers. You're...
Hot damn! You're a real... Sure wish I were authorized to hand out 3-point set. Our hosts are still walking about, and it seems we're without our weapons. You ain't happen to bring any, did you? Oh, wonderful!
Someone call for a medic. Let's get you healed.
Another ass kicking for the history books. Let's open the gate for that reporter and the troops before these bodies get cold.
Those kills wins! Violence is the answer!
Over here! Let's have a word with the hero of... Well, the blockade is ours now, but the way in which you captured it lacked a certain...
That hasn't stopped you lot from spinning a story before. You said something about an interview.
It's audio only, Trooper. And you're working with a true professional now. Let me work, huh? Relax.
Well,
Great! Recording's already begun. I'm here, live at the scene with the fearsome grafted soldier Inez. It's a shame you cannot see this, dear listener. For Inez, your destruction of those dastardly Protectorate troops was awe-inspiring.
I'm just, doing my part. I joined up because I believed in our mission, to liberate Arcadia. Reckon my actions illustrate that more than anything I could ever say. Suppose I do know a thing or two about a pep talk. Given many in my time to troopers.
How wonderful! I hadn't realized Inez here had... Dear audience, the voice you just heard is that of the soldier's close associate, an eyewitness. You also freed some of our troopers from the Protectorate's fiendish grasp. One can only imagine the...
Look, I did what anyone with an ounce of sense would do. Ain't gonna leave one of my own in such a state. And if I had it my way, I would have acted sooner. Yeah, that's exactly right. I plan on doing everything in my...
A heartwarming sentiment, but not too swift an end to the war, I hope. In any case, those soldiers can finally return to their postings again. Now,
These graphs make me stronger. Good in a bind. I know I'm a bit of a curiosity. Ain't too many of us left. But there is so much good we can do with grafting, if we try.
I got a plan, see? To start the grafting program up again.
A fascinating idea. I think before we wrap, have you anything else of note to tell our undoubtedly enraptured audience?
Oh, I got one.
Ah, I see. A bit of cheeky and that's a wrap. You can go back to slouching or sneering astonishingly well. Rest assured, our listeners will be glued to their radios for all the lurid details.
Well, that's a damn sight better than I was anticipating. Willard will have to make good on our deal.
You do that, and I will remain here burdened by the...
I'm itching to see if Willard will make good on our deal. I'd like to press on, unless you had something to do.
Is the fountain.
Live, love, laugh, purchase, and consume with Anti's choice.
So the conquering here. The footage I received tells the story it needs to, but I am rather disappointed by the absence of it. Oh, where are my manners? Commander, Inez, meet our new benefactor. This is the business.
Yes, we've met. Now, let's not get overly ahead of ourselves. Putting on a show is 40% of the battle.
Well, I'd say these two certainly made our correspondent's job easier.
Let's try not to exaggerate. It was a fine showing. Now...
Look, I know I ain't exactly the profile of a business partner, but I know medicine, and I know the potential of grafts more than anyone. You'll not find my experience...
Perhaps so, but unfortunately I can't... You know how it is. Low-level workers have a certain flair for lying and grifting.
But we can trust your word as her current supervisor. What sort of performance review might you give this associate?
Well, it's easy to...
That's a reasonable endorsement. Wouldn't fit in the one line write-in.
So we have a deal then? I admit that the raid and the interview may not have gone as swimmingly as I would have...
Suppose I can make good on the funding after all. We'll see in time.
So that's it. We're clear to restart the grafting program.
Of course not. Unless said folk agree to it. Yes, we are. When the time is right, I will reach out to you for further planning. You have been instrumental, soldier. Inez, well done indeed.
I'll settle for a moment of rest, Commander. Thanks.
Have you returned for yet another round of congratulations?
Can't help but be excited.
Yes, yes.
you're not here.
Listen, I got great news. This program you're ain't entirely sure in what capacity yet, but
That's something, I suppose.
right. Of course,
I don't know what that means. But if I'm not out of a job, that is a relief. It's more than work, you know. It's a passion. Will I be getting a raise? Then no, I've no thoughts. Please lock the door behind you when you leave.
Good talk.
I'm liking the enthusiasm you're bringing to the table.
It's strange how I ended up here. If I hadn't started traveling with you, I may have spent my days hunting down the members I thought traitors, and you may not have noticed, but I have a tendency to be a little impulsive. Reckless, even. The cult needs me. They need my certainty. It was my deep faith that brought... And I'm not discounting your part in all this. Like I said, without you, I'd be dead. The cult in ruins.
Never thought I'd be able to see the undisputed claim in all... Would have been worth every bit, though. Have time for a chat, Commander? Willard, Vice President Conan, sent me a message just now, and they all agreed to fund the grafting program. They even thought to bring me into middle management for the program. Can you believe it? After you and I finish what we set out to do for Arcadia, of course. I'd say I'm realizing now that I never really imagined something like this was possible. After ending my never thought I'd be at the forefront of a military campaign. Never thought, reckon you could say I proved myself after all. Thank you. Anyhow, that's enough sorting.
Marisol settling nicely. She's like a character from... maybe don't tell her I said that, though.
If that blockade had been staffed by staunch protector...
What are we standing around jawing for? There's mayhem and murdering to be done.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to Earth? The Protectorate have only been told a watered down
expect us to wander into the scene of a murder. But somehow I'm not in time. We should find a way inside. There might be clues to what happened, and where Anais's research is now.
They should have been sealed in that room to focus on their... I'd suspect the missing anchorite knows something, at least. The terminal at Winter's Grasp said Anais' work was sent here. There might be signs of that, or where the I've had a chance to look around. You seem like you've done a thorough sweep. We should discuss... Poor thing. Blunt force trauma to the occipital lobe, I believe. Possible signs of an altercation. Hard to say with just a superficial glance. At the very least, her cloister-mate Anchor's run has some explaining to do. A disputation of current order methodology focuses mainly on our presiding bishop. I believe I got the gist by efficiently skimming. The general concern is that the order has lost its way. My old department is repeatedly mentioned in a favorable light. Anais' work is regarded highly. I saw that. I believe it was Anchoress Chow's diary. Spoke about regular... Chow seemed worried they were conspiring about something. That they'd mentioned an old order research station. That old research facility seems the most likely spot to look next. I know the coordinates on Eden. Place by the name of Point Obvi. I don't know what happened to Anchoress Chow, but leaving a body behind is suspicious. And the disputation reads like a call to arms for any fringe thinkers in the Order. There's no destroying the copies at this point, I'm afraid. We need a way to keep anyone from taking it up further in the future. If we go in guns blazing from here, it will only continue. We need a plan. This is the exact sort of work we did at the Department of Preemptive Causal We developed tactics at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection to minimize unforeseeable consequences. We can just... Yes.